How could a civilization over 5,000 years ago achieve such an impressive level of development? The Sumerians, considered the founders of one of humanity's first cultures, left us a legacy that still baffles historians and archaeologists today. From cuneiform writing to complex legal systems and scientific advances, their wisdom seems ahead of its time. Was it all the result of gradual evolution, or are there elements we still cannot fully explain? If you're a history enthusiast, subscribe now to not miss the most fascinating news from around the world. Who were the Sumerians? Before delving into their astronomical knowledge, we need to understand who the Sumerians were. Located in ancient Mesopotamia, in what we now know as Iraq, the Sumerians founded the world's first cities. They were farmers, merchants, and pioneers in writing and architecture. But above all, they were observers of the skies. For the Sumerians, the sky was not only a fundamental part of their religion but also considered a signaling system that influenced life on Earth. The Sumerians were the first to record celestial events on clay tablets. These tablets, many of which have been found in excavations, contain information about the moon, the sun, and the planets. They also created calendars and divided the year into seasons based on the position of the stars. This form of record-keeping was crucial to their daily life, especially for agriculture, as seasons and rains depended on celestial cycles. They even identified atmospheric and climatic phenomena related to the position of the stars. For them, the stars and planets were a guide in the sky that could predict rain, droughts, and even the fertility cycles of the land. Thanks to this knowledge, they developed agricultural techniques that made them a prosperous and organized society. And all of it was based on the knowledge they gained from observing the heavens. Compared to today's technology, it seems incredible that the Sumerians achieved such precision through direct observation alone. Without telescopes or advanced tools, their knowledge was the result of generations of observers who dedicated their lives to studying the stars and their patterns. The precision of their knowledge. What is most astonishing is the precision with which the Sumerians knew the orbit of the moon and planetary movements. They knew there were 5 planets visible to the naked eye: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. They also managed to identify patterns in their movements, which allowed them to predict phenomena such as lunar and solar eclipses. To predict these events, the Sumerians used a system that combined mathematics and constant observation. On their tablets, they recorded the cycles of the moon and its relation to the seasons, allowing them to adjust their calendar and plan important activities like planting and harvesting. The precision of their calculations indicates that they did not just glance at the sky occasionally, but did so systematically and with deep knowledge. But here's where it gets even more interesting. In some tablets, details were found about the precession of the equinoxes, a phenomenon that takes thousands of years to complete and requires deep knowledge and constant observation to detect. The Sumerians seem to have an astonishingly advanced understanding for their time. This has led many archaeologists and astronomers to wonder how they managed to gather this data without modern technology. How did they know it? Some theories suggest that their temples, called ziggurats, functioned as astronomical observatories. From these towering buildings, Sumerian priests observed the sky, recording every celestial movement. These records were preserved on tablets, many of which have survived to this day. It has even been speculated that they had a system similar to a rudimentary form of telescope using mirrors and water to reflect the light of the stars. In addition, mathematical patterns have been found in the tablets showing that the Sumerians used advanced geometry to predict planetary positions and accurately measure the distances between visible stars. This geometry was surprisingly precise and, in some aspects, ahead of its time. For historians, it is a mystery how they developed this knowledge, as there is no evidence that other cultures of the time had a similar understanding. The mystery of Nibiru. One of the most enigmatic aspects of Sumerian astronomy is the reference to a planet called Nibiru. In Sumerian tablets, a celestial body is mentioned that would approach Earth in long cycles, causing catastrophic events. This planet, described as a visitor to the solar system, was considered by the Sumerians as the home of their gods, the Anunnaki. According to some interpretations of the tablets, the Anunnaki descended to Earth from Nibiru and shared their knowledge with humans. In fact, some modern theories, like those proposed by writer Zecharia Sitchin, suggest that the Sumerians did not acquire their astronomical knowledge by chance but that it was transmitted by these entities that came from Nibiru. Although this idea is fascinating, many historians and scientists have found no conclusive evidence to support the existence of this planet or beings from another world. Other scholars suggest that Nibiru could be a metaphor or symbol used to represent significant astronomical or climatic events. It is possible that the Sumerians used mythological stories to explain natural phenomena, such as the appearance of comets or asteroids, which could have been interpreted as planets, bringing changes and disasters. In any case, this concept remains one of the most debated mysteries of ancient Sumerian astronomy. The ziggurats as observatories. The ziggurats, those gigantic stepped structures that rose in Sumerian cities, such as the famous ziggurat of Ur, had a function beyond the religious. Experts suggest that their high levels allowed priests to observe the sky without interference from earthly light, much like modern observatories. These priest astronomers were in charge of recording the phases of the moon, the positions of the planets, and other celestial phenomena that influenced the Sumerians' daily lives. It is theorized that the Sumerians even used time measurement systems based on nighttime observation from these ziggurats, allowing them to record the passage of time with remarkable precision. The influence of the Sumerians on modern astronomy. The legacy of the Sumerians in astronomy did not end in their time. Their knowledge expanded and was adopted by later civilizations, such as the Babylonians, the Greeks, and eventually the Arab astronomers. The Sumerians developed the sexagesimal system, the base of counting in multiples of 60, which we still use to measure time, angles, and astronomical coordinates today. Moreover, the notion of dividing the sky into constellations, as the Sumerians did, was adopted by later civilizations, and many of the constellations we know today have roots in Sumerian observations. However, despite all we have inherited from them, many questions remain unanswered. Sumerian astronomy remains a fascinating enigma. How is it that such an ancient civilization could have such precise knowledge of the cosmos? Was it truly the result of centuries of observation, or was there something more? A lost knowledge or even external intervention? The truth is that their legacy has endured through millennia, and every time we look up to the sky and observe the stars, in some way, we are connecting with those first astronomers of ancient Sumer. Don't forget to subscribe and comment on what topic you'd like us to explore in upcoming videos.